I promised you that I was gonna make a video for August. Here it is. Hey everyone, this is Joakim Comic Center, back again for another haul video. And this is all pre-order stuff from DCBS, not sponsored in any way. This is just the service that I've been using for the last 4 years now, buying my comic books and pre-ordering my comic books. And it has worked out pretty well so far, and I'm probably gonna keep on pre-ordering from them, especially when it comes to Marvel books, because they tend to go out of print and out of stock very quickly. So that's part of the whole reason why I started pre-ordering in the first place. But then it was DC, Image, and all other titles as well from other different companies. But going forward, I think I'll just prioritize pre-ordering Marvel books, because I feel pretty certain that most of the DC and independent stuff will be in print whenever I get the time to pick them up. So, enough rambling about that. I'm gonna show you what I got from my latest haul from DCBS. Thank you for staying. And not starting off with the actual graphic novels themselves or collected editions, but with some single issues. So I actually did get some free comic book day comics. And it's been years since I attended to a free comic book day, just because I don't really have a close by comic book shop anymore. And also, as you may know, I live in Sweden, so the comic book shops here are very far apart from each other, and I'm just smacked in the middle of all of them. Just 3 hours that way or that way, so yeah. What are you gonna do? But you could pick up and choose some free comic book days when I pre-ordered the books that I'm gonna show you. So with this batch that I got, I also got these ones. So let's see the titles here. I actually forgot half of them that I picked up. Can't remember that I chose this one. Dungeon Crawler Carl. It doesn't say me much. It's published by Bolt Comics. Cover by Josh Yoshitani. And sure, I'll check it out. This one I remembered that I pre-ordered. He-Man, Masters of the Universe, just because of the movie, of course. Of course, this isn't gonna have anything to do with the new live-action movie, but still. I've read He-Man, Masters of the Universe when DC was publishing it and held the title. This is Dark Horse Comics, so yeah, I'll read it, check it out, see what it's all about. And this one, I can't really remember that I picked up. The Name She Lost in Inanna? Or maybe it's Spanish, Inanna? I don't know. Book 1. Okay, check it out. Nice cover. This one I remember that I picked up and chose. Something is Killing the Children, Road to Slaughter. And Something is Killing the Children is by James Tynion. And I haven't actually read that title. It's one that I really do think that I should pick up, because everyone is talking good about that title. So yeah, maybe this will be the push to kick me into that direction. Hopefully it doesn't spoil anything if you haven't just read the main series, but I really doubt that with a free comic book. Then this is something that was just included, I guess, and I got 2 copies of Flash Gordon, apparently. And yeah, nice artwork. But yeah, I don't know anything about Flash Gordon, but I'll check it out. This one I remember picking up, Avatar Legends. And of course, I'm very much looking forward for the animated movie. No, I didn't. I was not one of those people that checked it out whenever it was leaked. And for those that did, shame on you. Shame on you. And yeah, just support Avatar. Well, you should. So now it's gonna release on streaming, I guess, but I would rather have seen it in the theaters. And next up we have Terror Bites, published by Mad Game. I can't remember that I actually chose this title, but of course you couldn't see the covers of any of the title that you picked, and yeah, but Mark Russell is involved in this one, so yeah, might be good. And last but not least, because of Spider-Man, of course, the Amazing Spider-Man, Queen in Black. I guess this is the start of an event. And I mean, Free Comic Book Day was 3 months ago, but I was holding all of my pre-ordered books. I actually could have gotten a haul out probably months ago, but I didn't want them to ship over all of these books separately, because I would be charged with import charges each and every time that a box arrived, so I'd rather just wait. So now we get a big haul, and let's start off. And first out is the one and only Image book, one highly awaited one. It's the return of Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples' magnum opus titles, probably. I'm talking about Saga, of course. And what I really like about the collected editions of Saga is that it highly depends on its popularity, and it's quite cheeky about it, because it does not come with a description of any sort on the backside. Just the title itself and the writer and artist. That's all you need, apparently. But of course, word of mouth, everyone will tell you to pick up and read Saga, and I, for one, am telling you nothing different. Go pick up Saga. You won't regret it, and you'll be glad that you waited until now to start reading it. Okay, next up, we're gonna go into DC, because Batman, of course. And this is a title that I never picked up in single issues. I used to pick up from the near beginning of the New 52. I jumped in on issue number 21 on the New 52 titles that was currently going on back then. Now 12 years back then, but still. And then I just kept on current with Batman until the end of Tom King's run on the character. So this run is something that I've never read in singles, never in the paperbacks, hardcovers, or whatever. I just waited until the omnibus released, and now it's finally here, and concluded this run with its volume 2. I'm talking about James Tynion before Batman Omnibus Volume 2. And yeah, finally I can get into this and see what it's all about. I've heard, I mean, not too bad things, not too much over the top things. I'm going in with an open mind. Maybe I'll like this even more than I thought I would. But it's also competing against Tynion's own Batman Detective Comics run with the Bat Family that was currently, or that was the previous series that he wrote in the beginning of DC Rebirth. So, I mean, and that's the best competitor. You should always compete against yourself, but I think he really had his strongest material in that one. So, let's see what this brings. Next up, more Batman. And the series that then later on kept on going with its own long run was, of course, Chip Zdarsky. And here we finally have the first volume out of 2, probably. I know that Chip Zdarsky also had some miniseries. Maybe, yeah, some of them are included in this one. So this is actually gonna have material that I haven't read before, which is always nice. And I previously read Chip Zdarsky's main Batman run in the standard hardcover collections, but as soon as they gave the word that this was going to be released, sold those off because, you know, trying to keep the minimal library. And yeah, this is a good step up for the library. And really fun color choices with this book. I don't think they ever used this blue before. So yeah, really nice. One more volume to go, and then I'll probably crack this open and read it again. And next up, we jump into Marvel, which is basically what over 50% of this haul is based upon. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of Spider-Man, so let's start off with the books that collect the earliest of appearances. And of course, I'm talking about the Amazing Spider-Man run. They are finally here with volume 7. And this is actually the thinnest, I believe, out of the volumes. It feels the thinnest. I haven't actually compared to the other volumes, but I mean, check this out. It's about 25 issues collected within this book. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not even 25. 24 issues collected within volume 7. But it's all nice and good because this bridges my collected editions from volume, or in between volume 6 of The Amazing Spider-Man and the Roger Stern omnibus, which was one of my very first omnibus that I picked up all those years ago. So finally, I have a really good stretch of the Amazing Spider-Man run collected. Not so much of the Spectacular Spider-Man. I missed out on picking up volume 1 because I wasn't really sure if I was interested. The J.M. DeMatteis material was wonderful when I read it, but I don't know if that was just an encapsulated run of the Spectacular Spider-Man that was in that kind of quality, or if there's other writers on that title, of course Roger Stern, that had as strong as writing as those two. So maybe if they ever reprint volume 1 of Spectacular Spider-Man, I'll make sure to jump on that. But yeah, glad to have my Amazing Spider-Man title almost complete. One day. Next up, we keep on going with Spider-Mans for a while. And this one is another title that I picked up in the earliest days of my collecting. And that is the Web of Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 2. With, of course, this stunning Hobgoblin cover. And we don't get enough Hobgoblin nowadays. I mean, he did have a great run in the Dan Slott era in Big Time, but it feels like they don't use that character as much anymore. So we'll see where they go with a live action character, and maybe we'll get more hype on Hobgoblin. I mean, he was one of my favorites in the animated series in the 90s, and here we have some of the earliest appearances. So this one collects a heck of a lot of more than the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 7 does, and rightly so, because this was $150 in its regular pricing. So we have over 50 issues within this book. Really good. And I really like the spine work on these. And yeah, it's all in different order back here to get it all sorted out. But yeah, I really like this, and it should take about one more volume to complete the Web of Spider-Man series in this collected edition format. But Joakim, certainly you picked up more Amazing Spider-Man. Certainly, yes, I did. Here it comes. And this one I want to talk about a little more, because usually I usually tell people that whenever they complain about the covers that they didn't get because there was a DM cover or a variant cover that they just sold out of and they couldn't get it and they wanted that. But usually I say that it really doesn't matter because you're only going to see the spine most of the time when it's in the bookshelf. So don't stress too much about what cover you get. It's about the spine. Speaking about the spine, when I pre-ordered this, I had no idea that they were gonna do a wraparound cover on this omnibus. I think you know what I'm talking about now. So here is the Amazing Spider-Man Brand New Day Omnibus Volume 2 with a wraparound cover that goes around. And I should have known this because I've had this exact cover in a standard hardcover edition way back then. But I didn't anticipate that they were gonna use the whole wraparound cover, as I knew that it was over the border and everything. I just thought that we were gonna cut it right before the spine and then have the usual white spine design on it. But no, they reserved that for the DM cover or the variant or whatever with Mary Jane and the Straczynski cover or Campbell cover. Had I known, maybe, I say maybe, I would have given them $30 more for that. But I really shouldn't care. I don't care. I just want my stories again. Because this edition, previous volumes, they took up so much space in their standard hardcover editions that this saves up a lot of space and room. And finally I can read these stories again, because I'm one of those that I wasn't as hurt by Sins Past and the One More Day storylines, because I wasn't reading Spider-Man back then. So I can distance myself from those storylines a lot more, I think, as I wasn't reading it continuously. So what they did with Brand New Day, I felt was really refreshing when Peter Parker met new characters and everything, and then it was a soft reboot on characters coming back into his life also, and then going to different directions in some relationships. That's like, you're never gonna hear another person speak this kindly towards Brand New Day, I think. So please don't hate, but I really enjoyed it. And Volume 2 here, I mean, I don't remember specifically all of the issues that are collected in this one, but I know my overall experience rereading or having my Spider-Man reading marathon on the character, that it was really fun at some points and great artwork overall. Jumping in with all of 5 different writers, I think, the Spidey Brain Trust that was pushing out a new Amazing Spider-Man issue every other week for several years, I believe. So yeah, that is the Amazing Spider-Man Brand New Day Volume 2. And with that, of course, naturally, we segue into the next omnibus, which is, of course, Spider-Man Brand New Day Volume 3. And there we go. White spine cover again. And yeah, I'm not bitter, as they say. So this collects issues that I actually do remember. It collects the whole gauntlet era of the Spider-Man Brand New Day. And these have some of the best stories for some of his classic villains. One specifically that I remember is the ones with Rhino or Alexei Sienkiewicz. And those issues was actually part of the ones that got me into reading comic books 12 years ago, my god. So what they did is that they translated the comics all into Swedish, and even though it sounds a bit more corny reading comic books in my own language, I really liked it, I really enjoyed it. It humanized the character so much, and I was stuck. I was trying to pick up comic books again, and it's all history from there. So yeah, I remember the Gauntlet very fondly. Cannot wait to reread it in this format. And then, last but not least, this is a character that I didn't know that it was gonna be so much good material for this character. This is probably the best written character that Marvel has, and it's none other than Daredevil. And here we have Daredevil by Nocenti and John Romita Jr. Volume 2. I never thought I would read so much good storylines from this character. I mean, the very first Daredevil that I read was by Brian Michael Bendis, and that is setting a pretty high bar for a character. And then we have so many writers that hits it out of the ballpark, one after another after that. And then of course we have Frank Miller to thank you for what he made the character to. I haven't digged into volume 1 yet. I was waiting for this to keep it up, and I think I'm probably gonna start a Daredevil reading marathon actually, because I want to go back to Frank Miller, read that, the original run, and then companion, and then go into this one, and then back into, okay, it's the Marvel Knights before that, but then finally get back to Brian Michael Bendis' run. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to read more Daredevil and some older material at that. And yeah, with that, that is the haul video. So thanks so much for watching this haul video. It's fun to come back and start reading new books. And until then, till next one, you can check out on Instagram, where I also post some reels and photos of the books, sometimes earlier than the actual haul video itself comes up on YouTube. So you can check that out. Until then, take care, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.